is Shaggy. I like to eat. My main man's Scooby, but he got 4 feet.
Me and my homies solve mysteries through cartoons, movies, and tons of DVDs.
As old school goes, we're genuine. We've been kicking it since 1969. But Mystery Inc. is far from through, cause there's always more adventures.
Darn me,
Scooby-Doo!
I'm awake. Anyways, Scoober-Doobert and the Curse of the Loobert Moobert. In 2010 movie where Scooby-Doo meets a hot frogman who turns out to be a hot frog lady. Woo! It's a prequel.
He meets hot... The hot frogman doesn't turn out to be a hot frog lady. It's just there's hot frogmen and hot frog ladies. Well, not a hot... Okay, there's hot frog men, and then there's a not hot Velma with a frog lady inside her with warts.
We all have a frog lady inside us, let's be fair.
Welcome to Rough Cuts.
Anyways, why did they need to make 2 prequels to Scoober-Doobert and the Monster of the Lake Moobert? I don't know,
but we should mention, hi, my name is Ilyon, and this is my co-host, The Boyks, and this is our podcast about good boys and bad movies. That's right, bad dog movies. Okay, now for prequels, I don't fucking know, because it makes... Okay, actually, no, I have an answer. Because it makes money. Now, why does it make money? Now, that's a good question.
Well, they aired it on Cartoon Network, so, like, I'm sure they just got a ton of money from just airing it or something. It had to have had DVD and Blu-ray sales, because I think this movie was direct. This one wasn't theater.
Yeah, so, I can't imagine that it would be.
So, and it feels like a ABC Family or a, like it feels like one of those direct-to-TV movies for sure. And it's weird.
Dogs.
Although I will say the CG is not bad. Like, I wouldn't say it's good.
2010 kids movie, it's fine.
Well, and like if you're thinking especially direct to TV, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's fine.
Like it's surprisingly high budget that way.
Yeah, this movie feels like it was made on a shoestring budget, but then there's a ton of CG money that was put into it.
Does it feel like it's made on a shoestring budget? It's got like a bunch of huge sets at like a really big.
It does
palace,
have a lot
like
of sets,
club and like and the sets all look good. There's lots of costumes and like they smash a bunch of things and like I don't know. I think that it actually seemed like it had a lot of budget. It's just shit.
How much money would you spend on this movie to make this film? How much money if you were the producer? You were the director, and you're like, let's just spend money. Let's make the Scooby-Doo prequel sequel. The pre-sequel.
I would... Okay, easy. This is an easy answer. I would spend probably like another $20 million, and that way I could fire everybody involved in this production and start over.
Only $20 million. That's how much you would spend on this masterpiece of cinema.
Well, no, in addition to whatever they spent, I'd fire them all after I saw this and spend another
because they spent $80 million on this movie. $80 million. I think a lot of that was CG
no, it's not a shoestring. Yeah, there we go.
Like that's I felt like it was cheap when I watched it, but on second thought and on recollection of what happened, I'm like, it can't be, but it feels cheap, and they spent so much, and I'm like. To be fair, they made $100 million profit, so $180 million on only DVD and Blu-ray sales. That's it.
Nice.
So, like, they made their money back.
Yeah, that's why they keep making these.
And so they just get... Well, they did stop after this one for the prequels. They only made 2 of these. Thankfully, because the Shaggy sucks.
Oh, that's not fair. The Fred is so much worse. The Fred is so much worse. Please, come on, come on. You can't blame. You can't put it all on Shaggy when Fred's over there, like crawling out shirtless in every scene, talking about like, I just want to have sex with all the single ladies. I don't give a. I'm gonna sow my seed where I want.
Yeah, and he won't even put a ring on it. And
God,
the worst. The worst part is, like, the James Gunn Scooby-Doo movies, like, sexified Velma and Daphne, aka Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Mm-hmm. And in this movie, I think the Freddy, who doesn't look like Freddy, doesn't. No. They didn't even. They made a joke about him dyeing his hair, but they wouldn't actually do it for the movie. I think he's contractually obligated to not wear a shirt for most of the movie.
I think he had.
Like, they humped him up.
His agent had to have put it in there, right? Like,
yeah, something, right? Like,
there has to be 20% of the scenes that he's in, he has to be shirtless, and you must focus on his abs for 30 seconds at a time. When you do that, he was shredded. I mean, like, I'll give you that.
He was, but it didn't. But he was also weak as hell in the movie universe.
No, he wasn't. No. Okay, Boix, you're saying that? Do you remember that he punches a timber in a mine and collapses the mine behind them?
Oh, yeah, no, that's true.
He's like the fucking Hulk.
I'm, like, thinking his only job... Okay, so Freddy's main thing in the Scooby-Doo-verse, the Scoober-Doober universe, is that he comes up with traps and elaborate Rube Goldberg machines to catch monsters, right? So in this movie, he's a jock that does football tackles and punches, like, supporting beams and mines.
He's the Hulk.
Knock them out. Yeah.
He's the Hulk that likes to fuck.
It feels like they
let the Hulk fuck.
And, like, I understand wiggle room with characters, but these are very well established characters.
They're
right?
also it's also, and, like, you could say, oh well, it's their origin story, but it's not.
So Freddy got weaker and decided to make Rube Goldberg machines.
That also,
tackle? Like, what?
Like, that was the thing that I didn't get. Is, I mean, Fred Jones never felt to me. I haven't watched a lot of Scooby-Doo, but he never seemed like a super shredded meathead weightlifter dude. That's not what I think of when I think of, like, ascot wearing. God, like...
His main job was, in some cases, to drive the van. Shaggy would drive in some other cases. And then his other job was to say, let's split up, gay. That's Freddy. That's all he does.
In this one, he's definitely Fred Chad Jones, because he's just, like...
Yeah.
Chet should be his name. Like, I'm thinking of all the different... Like, it feels like he's, like, maybe they mistakenly picked Fred Jones' like, brother, and it was actually Chet Jones that was, like, filling in and stole his spot. I don't know. Yeah, he's a sorority bro. Like, yeah, he's a, like...
That type of... Like, Revenge of the Nerds bro that attacks the nerds type of thing, and... Like, ogre
he's
going...
ready to, like... totally be in that, like, Neighbors movie or whatever about, like, college frats. Like, he's a National Lampoon's Van Wilder or something. Like, he's absolutely just this shirtless jock that is absolutely shredded. He's got spiky black hair, you know, like Fred Jones has. Mm-hmm. And, like, he just wears athletic wear. And you're like, what? Fred Jones is supposed to be, like, this preppy yacht club kid, like...
Yeah.
He always looks like he's ready to sail, for me.
Daphne's main character is supposed to be, like, a fashionista... I don't know, like, she was Buffy in the James Gunn movies, that's just her character in those movies.
Just Buffy.
She's Buffy, which I'm fine with. In this movie, I don't know what her character was. Like, she didn't even do a lot. I guess
she was
fine. Like, the actress was fine.
Velma was the best, I think.
Yeah, I think she did the best. That actress did the best too. Like, she put a lot of effort into her part, I feel.
I know that you were really down on the actors. I don't think that any of the actors did bad. I think that they were just horribly miscast for a couple of the roles, and also that, like, the writing. What are you supposed to do with this? What are you supposed to do? We need to actually talk about the film, though. In a way, like should we go through it? I mean, it ends up being a teen romance romp rather than a Scooby-Doo movie.
That's another thing that annoys me. Why is it a romance movie? It has nothing to do with Scooby-Doo.
No, it really... Scooby-Doo, especially, like, the character of Scooby-Doo is exceptionally superfluous to this movie. Like,
yeah, that character is just there. He doesn't do anything.
But very occasionally, even, like, he's almost never in scenes.
I was saying when we were watching it, it almost feels like Scooby is a figment of Shaggy's imagination in this movie.
Yes.
Because for most of the movie, Shaggy is the only person who interacts with Scooby. And there's a couple scenes where other characters, like, acknowledge that Scooby is there. But for the most part, it's just Shaggy talking to himself.
Yes.
And it's very weird.
Mm-hmm.
As Scooby attempts to do a one-liner.
No one else knows. I don't think anybody ever addresses Scooby-Doo besides Shaggy.
Velma does once when he crashes their date at the restaurant.
Okay, yeah.
She says, "Was that Scooby-Doo?" And that was the only time.
Maybe it's just because they all haven't had enough Scooby snacks yet to see him. Maybe that's the lore.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe they need... Although Shaggy's already had a lot.
I feel like Scooby snacks in this universe of Scooby-Doo would be like a fun pizza, though. It wouldn't be drugs. It wouldn't be a dog biscuit. It would be watermelon with berries on top of it in the shape of a pizza. And they would call it a fun pizza. And be like, "Hey, Shaggy and Scooby, you want a fun pizza?" You know? Like, it wouldn't be the same, right?
So...
Anyway,
start of this film,
teen drama.
They caused a bunch of property damage off screen, and because of that, they need to go and get summer jobs, and so of course they work at this gigantic fancy resort. I guess it's going to close.
Daphne's rich uncle owns a country club because Daphne is a preppy rich girl.
Which Fred Jones should be too, but whatever. Yeah. You know, he's a preppy rich girl.
So they decided to go work at her uncle's golf course for the summer.
Yes.
To make $10.
Yeah, it's this palatial estate. Yeah, it's this massive place with like it's a really, really nice set. I don't know where they filmed that at, but damn, that was a nice resort.
It is a nice resort. You forgot to mention, though, the scene before that when they're at school and they're doing school stuff, because I love the fact that I'm reminded of all the Mystery Machine going to school, which is probably important to the first movie where they go to school. And Scooby luau dance twerks for like 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah, because summer's out. Yeah.
Yeah, and twerking. I love Scooby twerking in my movie.
Well, we're going to get some more of that later. We're going to get a lot of Scooby and Shaggy dancing at various points.
Yeah, we will.
We have a few musical numbers. Would you call this a musical? You might almost have to. There's like three.
There's like three musical numbers, yeah.
Yep.
Almost.
And they are like actual full musical interludes.
It doesn't feel like a musical, though. It feels like... We should put music in because that'll shut the kids up for 4 minutes.
Yeah, no, I mean, it doesn't
it's cynical
follow
is
at
how
all.
it feels to me, but I don't know. I want to hate this movie. If you can't tell, I don't know if it's actually as bad as I think it is.
I actually hate it. No, it's bad. No, it's about as bad as you think it is. No, you're not wrong.
Anyway, they go to work at Daphne's rich white uncle's rich white country club for only white people. And yeah. And what is it? There's a lot of romance between Freddy and Daphne at the beginning.
Yes,
because
they're all kissy and lovey, and
Velma,
dating.
Shaggy, and Scooby open up like the back of the mystery machine and they're smooching on each other. Okay.
And everybody just goes like, "Oh yeah, they're dating." Like they're just dating established
now
beforehand.
And
yeah.
Maybe that was in the first movie of the prequel. This is the sequel to the prequel. So maybe I don't
sequel prequel, but yeah, I don't know. It just shows them dating right away.
And then because of that, Shaggy gets the idea of maybe I would also like to date.
You and Daphne, is that something you recommend?
Yes.
What do you mean?
Well,
You recommend getting with girls?
Girlfriend to a girlfriend?
Oh my god.
I don't know if I'd really call Daphne my girlfriend, Shags.
She's my side thing.
I was gonna say. No man, I don't let anybody really tie me down, if you know what I'm saying.
Football players like too well.
Yeah.
It's toxic
Fred's a
as
piece
shit.
of shit in this. Fred is such a fucking asshole.
Freddie and Daphne have a very toxic relationship in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's super bad.
Well, I mean, it's all Freddy. Freddy's just a fucking ass. Daphne's fine.
Yeah, Daphne does try to get back at him later. Weirdly. I don't know. The whole thing's weird.
Yeah,
I don't like any of it.
Fair.
Yeah. Anyways, as Shaggy's like smooching up on Velma at the beach of California, I think this takes place in, was it New York? It was somewhere that was not California.
Yeah, I feel like it was supposed to be like Maine
Ohio
or something, but it was like very obviously like coastal California.
Yeah, it was some coastal. It wasn't Ohio. But I was thinking of the Frogmen from Ohio. Which
I know what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be the shore of a Great Lake, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the Great Lake, northwest
Lake
New
monster.
York. New York.
Yeah.
It was Lake Erie, I think, is what it was. Yeah.
But it does not. I've been kind of around that area. And
but the beach they're on is a coastal California beach.
It really looks like that.
Like you would see the same beach.
It wasn't.
It might be the same beach that they do like Power Rangers episodes and all these. There's tons of fucking movies on these beaches that are all in the same location.
Yeah.
But anyway, so as Shaggy's trying to smooch up on Velma, he's like, "Hey, Velma, do you think dating a guy would be cool? Like me? Like Shaggy? Would you want to date Shaggy?" And it's like in that voice.
I was gonna say, well, no,
that's pretty good.
That's not. Whoa, that's not fair. You're much better than that, Shaggy.
Yeah, all right.
I feel bad for that Shaggy actor because like he's trying. I think that he's actually like a pretty decent actor, but why the fuck is he Shaggy? He just shouldn't be Shaggy.
Yeah,
they just needed a different Shaggy
doing an impression of someone else trying to do a Shaggy voice.
Yes,
that's the problem,
and it's not good.
And then Velma, who is ignoring him, finds a Chaos Emerald in the sand.
Yes, yeah. She pulls out a power gem.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, the Chaos Emeralds?" chuckled Velma.
Do you know what these are, Shaggy? Shows it to him.
Yep.
One of the things that really pisses me off about Shaggy, so like Fred's a piece of shit, but Shaggy's pretty good, pretty bad too, because he's trying to get with Velma and he's talking about how cute she is and how much he wants to, I think that I like Velma kind of thing. But she's sitting there talking to him and she goes, "Oh, do you see like the rocks on the cliff there? Like this is such and such sediment, like this is what this means." Then she like picks out the gem and she's like, "Oh, this is like this kind of a crystal," and all these things, and he's going, "Yeah, okay, whatever, fuck that. This is boring and stupid," kind of thing. Like he brushes all of the things that she likes aside as quick as he can, and then he's like, "Hey, do you want a date?" And it's like, yeah, you really like who she is, for her.
To be fair, like, they're supposed to be teenagers. This is a thing teenagers do. I guess it's fair. Yeah. And it eventually rolls around to be like, they address it, but...
I guess, but it's just... They actually do zoom in at one point on her ass, though, when he's looking at her. They literally do an ass shot, which, like... she's a teen movie. I don't.
It's a kids movie too, so it's like
like
what are you doing?
She's like 17 or 16 or something. Why are we like zooming in on her ass so that you can do a perv shot? Like, fuck off.
It's really weird, but that night after Velma finds the Chaos Emerald, she chuckled. The country club holds a dinner for all their rich white people that go to the country club. And also, oh god, what's her name? God, I don't remember the actress that showed up. Like, because we were having a conversation about it. The movies tend to have like older actresses show up or actors to try and get their pay in for their union. Because the Screen Actors Guild requires you to keep acting in films and to have your name in order to keep getting your pension.
Yeah.
Right? So that happened in this movie.
Yeah, there was a very brief cameo of an older actress. God, who is it? Hold up, just a minute. I'm getting
I don't remember her name, but we were both like, oh, that sucks for her, but I'm glad she's getting paid. Yeah.
No, Frank Welker does a voice. Huh. Nichelle Nichols, right?
That's what it was. Yeah.
Nichelle Nichols, yeah. So Uhura shows up as a senator.
And good for her, right?
Yeah. I'm glad I hope she got a paycheck. Get that fucking money.
Yeah. But they're doing this dinner, and the Ohio Loveland Frogman shows up at the dinner.
Yes.
And wreaks havoc, throwing tables everywhere, and all the people run out from the tent and run away from the country club. And the uncle's like, oh no, that frogman that attacked us all made half of my rich white people lose their membership because they just left immediately and didn't pay for membership. Only half of them were like, I could go for a country club with a frogman.
Did you see it tonguing that guy? Because it does, in fact, tongue some people.
Can I date that frogman? Ooh, is that part of the deal? I'm staying in, baby.
That's a real bummer. And
exactly.
I kind of meant, why are you wet?
Oh, that. Well, let's just say we almost got in over our heads.
Let's just say we shagged a frogman.
Oh, God. Let's just say that a frogman got us very wet. Wait.
Fuck, if this was
that frogman had me soaked. Wait, no.
God damn it. God damn it.
No grub work.
Velma is not with the group when this happens. It's just Shaggy and Fred and Daphne. And they hide under tables and stuff, and they're like, oh, it must be fake. And it's very obviously not fake. So, yeah, now they have a mystery to do.
Yep, so Velma shows up late. They're like, what the hell was that? Oh, there was a frogman. There's a frogman? And that's my Scooby impression.
That's not as good as it is Frank Welker, so...
Look, I am barely awake for this episode. Alright, it's going well. Leave me alone. Anyway, so, and then Shaggy does, God, what happens? Shaggy does a musical number about wanting to spoon Velma. I think that's what happens next.
Yeah, he talks about spooning and forks and crooning, and
it's like a barbershop quartet about spooning.
Moon, croon, spoon, zoon, foon, boon, boo. It just kind of falls apart.
Doober,
Spooner. He has this whole little number of him playing a banjo and trying to woo Velma.
Yeah, and this is where the movie starts to lose me. The teen romance was already losing me. But why are
I could have
these...
understood the teen romance if it was the B plot, but it's not the B plot.
It's not the B plot. And there's these like elaborate musical numbers, which have no purpose.
Really elaborate. Yeah.
No purpose at all.
Well,
they're just there to make the time run longer. It feels like.
Yes, but also this will come back up again.
This one does, and it makes no fucking sense when it comes back.
This one's set up. No, it doesn't. No, this one's a setup. This one is foreshadowing, boys. So yeah, he has his little banjo number about moons and croons and spoons
in his head. I need to point out
in his head,
an actual musical number. It's in his head.
Yeah, no, nobody's dancing on tables. Well, because I mean, he's literally in like a vaudeville act doing this. Like they're all it would make no sense for it to be anything but in his head, because it's just he's off on like a stage with like all these people watching him, and he's in a boat with her, and then but like it's a boat with like paper waves and stuff in front of it. Like it's a set. There's a whole it's a musical number weird thing. It's very obviously in his head.
Velma tells them about the Chaos Emerald.
Yes.
So they go to the beach where she found the Chaos Emerald, and they run into a frogman in a really shitty costume, who's not actually a frogman. It's the lighthouse keeper, I guess.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Who is there to exposition on them for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
About the history of the golf course.
Scooby-Doo, also importantly, uses another foreshadowing thing that happens where he takes out his camera that he has and he uses that to blind the frogman at first when they think he's a monster, and he goes, "Whoa, what are you doing? Like, I'm just a person." And so Scooby-Doo is taking photos of everything the whole time, importantly.
Yeah, so the story of the golf course, which is a real dumb way to start, is that there were settlers way yonder past. We're not going to say where they came from or who they met, because that would be culturally,
or who they displaced.
So what they did was they found a witch with a gem on her cool staff at the beach. And she...
Grubwort.
Yeah, and she would turn people into frogs. So they caught her and burned her at the stake.
Yeah.
And then distributed her Chaos Emeralds throughout the world to be found by Sonic later.
Yeah, they smashed her... They smashed the gems and threw them everywhere. Scattered to the winds.
I guess.
So the gang goes, you know what we should do? We should find all those gems. That'll solve the
We should
mystery.
collect the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah. Then we can have the ultimate frog power.
I guess. And they still think the Frogman is a guy in a suit. So they go to the security cameras around the country club, and they go to the computer. And Velma is like, enhance. And then 3 of them are typing on the same keyboard, and she's like, enhance, enhance. They
do literally say enhance at one point. They actually zoom in on something, and they like, enhance that, and they
do the NCIS thing.
It just does it. Yep.
It's so bad. And then as they're about to see the Frogman, because they do see the Frogman, they're about to see the witch walking around. Velma spills, quote unquote, accidentally, quote unquote, her drink on the keyboard, which causes the whole computer to short circuit.
Yes, it blows up the computer.
And
they were like, "Oh my, yoinks, zoinks, what was that?" "Oh, that was me spilling my tea. Oh, I'm sorry."
Off screen, by the way.
Yes, yeah, they don't actually... You're saying that she spills it on the keyboard and it destroys the whole computer, but she only just tells us that. It just, it goes black, and they have a sound, and they're like, "Oh my god, what was that? Was it like magic from the Frogman destroying the camera?" And it's like, "No, I fucked up the computer by spilling my tea on it." Okay. I
also need to point out, like, Shaggy's really fucking creepy on Velma. He's creeping on her.
Yes.
Because
as I said, they show an ass shot.
They show an ass shot, but he also says, like, "Oh, is that old de Velma I smell?"
Yes, yeah.
And he's, like, sniffing Velma and shit. And it's like, oh,
yeah.
Jesus, what are you doing? Yeah. It's gross. It's fucking gross. So, I guess, like, they decide to try and catch the Frogman.
Yes.
So Freddy and Daphne split up with Shaggy and Scooby, and Velma fucks off, which is a common theme, and somehow they never pick up on.
Somehow, this is probably irrelevant to anything plot-wise.
Yep, so the Frogman attacks. Freddy football tackles the Frogman, and they try to pull off its face, and they realize, oh my god, it's a real Frogman. Will you sign my Frogman shirt I bought from Loveland, Ohio? The famous Loveland Frogman shirt? Oh, man.
I love Frogmen. Frogman had me soaked. There's some very breedable Frogmen in this. Is that what you're going to say?
Look, there's a certain type of person where this Frogman would really do it for them. That's all I'm saying.
And it turns out that it's Daphne and Fred.
But, so they hide, I suppose. And the way they hide is stupid, because it's their actual costumes.
This is fucking annoying as shit to me.
That are, like, they're on mannequins. It's the actual Fred and Daphne
store,
costume from, like, the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
And they
with,
hide...
like, a wig for Fred and everything, so that it looks like Fred.
Because they hide wearing those, and you're like, that's the characters. That's them. Why aren't they wearing those normally? And then after the Frogman, like, pisses off, because he doesn't see them, then Fred's like, huh, you know, blonde hair's pretty good. I wonder if I looked like Fred, if that would be good. Huh.
Yeah. It's a terrible decision for them to make Fred and Daphne not look like Fred and Daphne at all. And especially Fred. Like, Daphne does a little bit. I don't think that Daphne looks bad. But Fred is just so far off from Fred. And then suddenly they dress him up in, like, the ascot with a white shirt and everything and the blonde wig. And you're like, this is a terrible idea to be like, this is what the Fred should look like. Yes. Yep. There you go.
Why are you making a joke about something that you should just be doing? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. It's like when a movie puts a better movie in the background. It's that type of thing. Like, don't remind me of what I could have.
Yeah, don't show us what could happen. Like, don't threaten me with a good time.
God damn it. At the same time, Shaggy and Scooby, like, run away from the Frogman in a golf cart, which they overturn at a sand trap, and then Shaggy finds another Chaos Emerald in the sand trap, which begs the question, how hidden were these fucking Chaos Emeralds if they're just finding them, like,
all on the same golf
millimeters, millimeters below the sand line?
Yeah, maybe that was sand, like, carted in from a different place, and it just happened to have the other Chaos Emerald.
I guess.
So he shows it to Velma because she really likes the Chaos Emeralds, and he knows how much she loves them.
Mm-hmm. At the fancy date, I think he shows it to her. Yeah.
Yeah. So he asks her out on a date, kind of thing.
He asks her out after they find her passed out on the beach.
Yes.
It's so weird.
Yeah. They find her
like,
passed out.
I know you just passed out on the beach, but really what would be more important is, would you date me? I don't really care about your health or if you're okay. I just want to date you.
And she goes,
okay.
Yeah, I guess I'll go for a bite.
They do a fancy dinner in an empty restaurant, because it was way cheaper to shoot without background actors. I feel like that was the reason.
I don't think that it was. Again, this had an $80 million budget. I think that it was just a decision that they had.
It had an $80 million budget, but there's no extras except in the dinner scene, like at the tent outside where the Frogman shows up. There's no extras in this movie.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. They decided it was easier for some reason. It's fine. But Shaggy decides Shaggy has been jealous of how much sorry, not Shaggy. Scooby has been jealous of how much Shaggy is with Velma. and he is dressed up as the waiter to wait on them, and this is when, like you said, she actually addresses Scooby, so we know that he's not simply a figment of Shaggy's imagination.
Oh, okay. I remember now. So the reason you mentioned that the witch was named Grubwort, right? Is that right? Grubwort?
Yep. Wanda Grubwort.
Because they're trying to figure out, like, after the dinner, after Scooby screws up the dinner by being present, I guess.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything. They're like, he's just there.
Ooh. Okay, well, but listen, if you ever had a dog and you're trying to get down with, like, a girl or somebody, you don't want the dog in the room. Like, that's just weird. So, I mean, they're just like, maybe there's another time.
So, he screws that up, and then Shaggy tries to fix it by lighting a candle, I think, because he lights a match or something. Or he uses, like, one of those flick... lighters.
It's a match, yeah.
Yeah. And we find out that Velma is afraid of fire.
Mm-hmm.
And loves Chaos Emeralds.
She's got all kinds of new things going on, Velma does.
Yep. And at some point, and this is where my notes aren't making sense to me, I think they're looking for the witch's staff so that they can collect the Chaos Emeralds into it, which would give Grubwort power to come back from being a ghost from the dead to being a real live witch. Or something.
Yeah, I don't remember that part of it. Honestly, it was very superfluous again. Like, so much of this is Daphne and Fred fighting back and forth because we skipped over all of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of drama.
He starts macking on a bunch of girls at tennis because because when Shaggy asks him for advice on dating, he's like, we're young men, we gotta sew, if you know what I mean. And all this shit. And then Daphne sees him, and this is where you said Daphne's kind of toxic too, which, I mean, yes, but also... I would put it down to her being a teen that is mad because she's being fucked
do
with.
This shit. It's
And she goes and she's like, well, I'll go and get like a tennis lesson then. And so she's getting a tennis lesson. He's going, there's a guy near her. Like, the thing is that he is obviously like hitting on these girls and like smooching them and getting all close and personal, and she's just having a tennis match. Like, she's not doing anything else. She is just literally being near another male, and he immediately goes absolutely fucking apeshit over it and is like, I can't believe you do this kind of thing. And she's like, well, I thought we were just being loosey-goosey kind of. And so they have that. That's the majority of this film. That is like 45 minutes the last hour. The actual stuff that you care about with the lake monster and everything is 15 minutes of that hour. It's
most of this is just teen drama fluff. Yes. I remember though, was there a character named Troberg or something?
Well,
what it was, place or
yes. So what it was is they were trying to figure out what they're like. Okay, well, where would Wanda Grubwort be and different stuff like that, and then Daphne or Velma, God, one of them is looking through like a phone book, and on the back of it there is an ad for like a towing company or something. I can't remember what the company was, but and it's like Troberg's, like you said, and there's Shaggy sees it in the mirror and he goes, that's weird, in the mirror it's Grubwort. And so
they do a nilbog.
They do the nilbog.
That's goblin backwards. Oh, jeez.
So that's how they figure out that that's going to be the descendant of Wanda Grubwort.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the old mine kind of thing.
Yeah, they get in a mine at some point. I know, because they do get chased by the witch at the country club. Before that. Before they actually go to the mine. because they're doing the Scooby-Doo through the hallway back and forth of the doors, and I have to give them credit. That was actually like a Scooby-Doo scene, and it was fun.
A Scooby-Doo scene,
and it's like the lowest possible thing you could do on the bar of making a Scooby-Doo scene, but it was good.
It doesn't matter. Essentially, they find out that Velma is possessed by Wanda Grubwort. Velma chases them all over the hotel kind of thing, and the general like Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? And they're like going through all the doors, that kind of thing. And then they decide they need to. She's got her chaos staff and all the emeralds together, and she's in this mine cave thing that they have to scuba dive into.
Yeah, because they're like, okay, we need to go save Velma, who's also a witch. And who summons Frogmen.
And possessed, even.
And possessed. And she went to somewhere, we know where it is, it's called whatever, how do we get there? And they asked the information guide person for the town, and she's like, oh yeah, I know where that is, but it's an underwater cave, so you'd have to swim there. Good thing I sell scuba gear at a premium now, because you really need it, so I'm jacking that price up.
Supply and demand, baby.
And they're like, oh, geez, I guess we'll pay $500,000 an hour to rent scuba gear.
So they scuba dive in, and this is the moment too. I really love this because it's the perfect illustration of something that we talked about earlier. When they come in, they're all in scuba gear. They're all in wetsuits. They come up out of the bottom of this cave. They get out. It cuts scene, like doesn't show them getting out of the wetsuits or anything, but it basically cuts from that to them like sneaking through the cave, and you immediately go,
"Why is Fred shirtless?"
I was okay. Thank you, because I was in the middle of asking that.
What is happening?
For some fucking reason, everybody else is just dressed normal, or like in clothes at least. And
in their costume, yeah.
Fred is there, like in shorts and shirtless, and just like, hey, you see these abs? Check this.
Did he plan to just not wear a shirt afterwards? Like, what was the plan? How did this happen?
This'll snap Velma out of it. Check this. Gonna grate some cheese on these babies. I gotta give it to that actor. He's fucking jacked. There's shredded.
There's a point here too where, like, you know, Shaggy and Freddy in this movie are basically just Gex, and that's not what you want to be. You don't want to be Gex. Nobody wants you to be Gex. Yeah. It makes no fucking sense what's happening. And what they're saying and their dialogue, it's all cringy as shit. But so they're in the cave. They split up, I think. Because Shaggy... oh no, they get attacked by Frogmen.
Yeah, they get attacked by Frogmen. So she's sitting there and she's throwing frogs into this little pond in this cave. And then she uses her chaos emeralds to make them into gigantic big frogmen.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Shaggy goes, I've got this, and jumps out and he's like, Velma Dinkley, you stop this right now. And
that was a really good Shaggy voice.
Yeah, thank you. They should hire me next time. So
yeah.
She goes like, Velma's not home right now, and sends all the frogmen.
Your mother sucks cocks in hell, Shaggy.
And then her head starts spinning and puking.
The pea soup was a little weird.
It's so good. It's so good.
But then she sends all the frogmen after them, and Shaggy loops back in a way to go and confront her.
That's what happens, yeah. Because Shaggy confronts her, and then she, like, grabs him by the throat and pushes him up against the wall. Like the tall woman, small woman meme of, like, this is how you talk to a
she
small
does it with her, like,
lesbian.
Staff, yeah.
Yeah, and then, like, Shaggy says something
gross. It's the first time I've been picked up by a girl.
Yeah, that's gross. It's like, come on, man. But it feels like the, it's definitely that meme image of like the two lesbian girls.
Yeah. No, I mean, because he even makes it weird like that. Because like he says, he's like,
oh, this is real hot.
By a girl before. Yeah. I'm really into this, and that's when Velma goes, "Oh, never mind." This stops.
Yeah.
Really good way to stop someone from killing you that way is to be like, "Oh, I'm really into this."
Yeah, and like Shaggy gets so into it that as Velma's about to kill him, he's like, "I want a spoon," and he starts singing the song that he sang in his head earlier. And this is where
in his fucking head, he sung this song.
And this is where it's fucking stupid, because Velma sings along with him, knowing the lyrics and what comes next, even though she has never
takes over
heard
control
that
of her
song.
body again. Yeah. His
What the
stupid
fuck?
fucking moon spoon croon barbershop quartet banjo fucking number from earlier that was
Makes no sense.
very obviously in his own head.
Yeah, it's real shitty writing, is what it is. And then Velma and Shaggy, after Velma gets free from the ghost, who just pisses off, I guess.
Yeah, they smash her gems and she leaves.
Oh, they smash the Chaos Emeralds. And like every time you smash the Chaos Emeralds, they fly up into the sky and shoot out somewhere else. You have to go find them again.
And then you have to find them again. You need radar.
Really, yeah, it's a pain in the ass. But anyway, they decide, hey, maybe we do want to date.
Maybe we should smooch.
Let's smooch. And then they smooch. And then Velma's like, yeah, there's nothing there.
I actually kind of liked that.
Good.
I kind of like the resolution of this, that because Shaggy, they both kiss, and Shaggy actually starts it because he goes, you know, I'm not very good with chemistry like you are, and she goes, yeah, there's nothing. Like that was actually a good line, even where he goes like, I'm not good about chemistry, and it's like, yeah, no, we have none. There is nothing here.
So they resolved this whole fucking romance plot by saying, yeah, that was stupid. Yeah, we shouldn't have done that. And like teens do that. Adults do that.
Sure.
People do that shit. But
yeah,
like
no, absolutely.
It was so long to drag that out.
It was the majority of the movie. The majority of the movie was just all of the teen romance stuff. So in that way, it sucks that that's the resolution of it. I also just want to point out, so now there's a couple of things here that I would like to get to now that we've basically established most of the movie, because then they get money and then that's the start of their team, whatever. The rest of the movie doesn't matter because it's just the epilogue, right?
Yeah, there is the real romance between the two characters that we care about, which is Shaggy and Scooby, who realize they love each other.
Sure.
That's the only other thing, other than the really shitty music video at the end, which was cringy as shit and made me crawl out of my skeleton.
I'm saying, like, as far as plot, we're basically done.
We're done with the plot, yeah.
Now I wanted to go over just a couple of things that we missed and also point some things out. So one of them is that, so there's also a scene earlier when we're talking about all the teen romance stuff that pissed me off so much, where they're figuring out where Wanda Grubward is, and they're like kind of piecing it all together. And Daphne goes, oh, well, I guess if we hadn't been all wrapped up in our romance, then we would have realized that if we weren't wrapped up in our own problems. And I was like saying what made the movie bad doesn't make the movie better.
Yeah.
It's
another like, stop pointing out
the movie.
Stop pointing out better movies and problems with the film in the film.
In the actual film,
that.
Yes.
Stop it.
Don't do it. Just stop. Don't ever do it. Stop saying that. But then, so here's the thing. Scooby-Doo, in general, is about them finding out that, like, rich people are behind crimes instead of supernatural stuff. Generally, right? Like, if you think of, like, the average plot of a Scooby-Doo episode or something, abandoned amusement park or whatever.
Yeah, it's usually like the owner of a expensive piece of land or some sort of rich inheritance, or it's very rarely the little guy. Yes,
it's normally some, like you said, like somebody who's, it's almost like an insurance fraud scheme a lot of the time, right? Where it's like they're rich, but maybe they've fallen a little bit on hard times, and so they're doing it to themselves, and it's never supernatural. It's actually just like, oh, let's see who you really are, right?
Except for the James Gunn movies, yes.
Yes. But that's what I'm...
That was
James
the
Gunn
twist,
one
though. That was
supposed to be the twist.
Yeah.
And now everybody does that, where it's just an actual fucking ghost doing an actual supernatural thing, which is so counter to what Scooby-Doo is. And on top of that, in this one... So then her rich uncle gives them $10,000 for saving his country club in a giant novelty check so that they can start their Mystery Incorporated.
You can't cash that check, by the way.
No, you can't. You really can't. It's worthless. But what pisses me off about that is, like, it's just everything about this is not Scooby-Doo. It's an actual ghost, and they're helping out the rich guy beat up on, like... It's this poor old witch woman that was on her land. They fucking throw her off the land, burn and kill her, and make a golf course out of it. And then years later, the descendants that are rich white people on this fucking awesome, cool resort that they have, and they're super rich, are, oh no, I wish that we could get rid of that poor woman again. Like, oh man, we've got the poors invading our country club.
I wish
Scooby Gang, can you help? Like,
I wish someone would help poor defenseless rich me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like,
God damn it.
Right? Like, what the fuck, guys? I'm not saying that every movie needs to be a class-conscious movie, but also at the same time, why are they helping out this rich asshole get rid of a ghost? What does that have to do with Scooby-Doo? Like, it just feels opposite of what that is.
This movie doesn't
have
the essence of Scooby-Doo. The essence of the ode.
It doesn't have the ode. Yeah.
I was getting there. Like, you can really smell the shit when you sniff the DVD case, you know? Like, there's something about it, and the ending musical number really pinpoints that. It really pinpoints that, because it's like 60s music into 70s music, like disco, into rap music from the 90s, like early 90s rap music. That's all about like their merchandising and how much money they can make on Scooby-Doo and buy our toys and our DVDs, and I'm sure they had fun making it. They definitely look like they had fun making it, but it doesn't...
That's where a lot of the money of this movie went, is into these musical numbers.
It doesn't feel right. It's
weird. I mean, that one especially, because it's just... At the end of the film, they're leaving, and Shaggy just goes, and now we should do our musical number. And then they just do a musical number. And it, like you said, and it's a mishmash of a lot of things, where it's one musical number, and like, as you said, it goes from disco into rap. Like, it just hard cuts at one point. It's awful. It's a miserable experience to sit through that rap. But at the end, at least, we do get some good balls.
Yeah, what the fuck? So,
I'm going to put this up on our Twitter, by the way.
Yeah, so the credits of the movie, Scooby was taking photos throughout the whole film.
Mm-hmm. Just foreshadowing.
His basic job during the movie was to just show up in a random scene, take a photo, and then fuck off.
And generally that was to distract the monster.
Yeah, and at the end, the credits are all the photos they took during the film. And, like, that's kind of cute, and I guess it's a photo album.
It's clever enough.
It was a clever way to lead into an interesting credit sequence. Did they need to do that? No.
But it was fine.
The end shows a photo of the production crew, which is cool. You should show the production people that make a film.
Yes.
For instance... I fucking love One Cut of the Dead.
Yes.
One Cut of the Dead fucking whips. And that movie has an ending showing the production. And I'm not going to talk much more about One Cut of the Dead.
No,
you
you
need
can't
to watch
talk about anything else.
One
about
Cut of the Dead. But
you
it
also can't talk about it
production.
without spoiling everything about One Cut of the Dead, which makes it incredibly interesting and cool.
But it does show the production crew, and that's what I'm getting at. And and that's cool. It's a feel-good, like, oh, people made this. That's awesome. Yeah. And that is tainted.
Balls.
That is tainted by the fact that 95% of the crew is wearing a shirt that just says balls.
I understand what you're... Listen, I get that you're trying to make the pun about taint, but I don't. I think that it elevates it, honestly.
It doesn't
Everyone's
drop it a bit.
Wearing ball shirts.
You know, just like drop.
There's a. The end of the movie drops out. Yeah.
Why are they wearing ball shirts? There's no context. I tried to look up the production company. They're not called Balls. The union, not called Balls. None of the people involved in producing or directors or anything, not called Balls. Where did these ball shirts come from? What the fuck?
I will raise you what I said when we saw it at the time. You went, why the hell are they wearing all these shirts? I'm like, may I put to you that it's very fucking funny.
It is very funny.
Because they're all just no reason wearing black shirts that just have balls across them in huge letters.
I usually try to skip through the credits just in case there's something at the end. And it's 99% of the time not. Because these aren't Marvel movies.
No.
And this movie had balls at the end, so I'm going to keep doing that.
We have to, yeah. Mm-hmm. Every once in a while, you just get surprise balls. All right, we're done ragging on the movie, and I think we're done talking about it for the most part.
Curse of the Lake Monster, I guess.
I want to say, because we rag on these films a lot, and I like to mention good things about them. I liked the Scooby credit photo collage.
It was cute.
A clever idea.
Yeah.
I would say that this movie, like you said, it in some ways it feels like it's on a shoestring budget, but I would say that it is very well shot and has a lot of really cool sets and locations. Like there's actually a lot of that. There's
very few scenes that look bad, and the ones that are green screened.
Yeah, there is that one really bad
There's
green
that
screen.
really fucking terrible green screen where they didn't want to go back to the country club to shoot it, so they just green screened them in to
That
fill
feels like it had
afterwards.
to be like a reshoot.
Yeah.
That feels like it had to be a reshoot to fix something because they just have the country club kind of in the background green screen, and it's really obvious green screen.
Yeah.
But in general, this movie is really well lit, and there's good costuming. Like Velma, when she gets all warty and stuff, and
the characters change costumes often too.
Yep.
And they have a color scheme. Mm-hmm. Every character has their own color scheme, even if they have a different costume. So that's understandable. They're like Power Rangers, I guess. Shaggy only wears green.
Yeah,
and brown.
The sets are kind of cool. When they get trapped in the hold and the water is rising, they actually do that whole scene, so they show that that's not nothing. He has to actually bust out a window to lower the water level. Fred does.
It is a little hard not to compare this to the James Gunn live action movies because both of them have the same problem of who is this for.
Yes.
Right? The James Gunn movies are basically rated R movies that they brought down to PG-13. And it's who is that for? Adults don't care. And it's too iffy for kids, on that level. And then this movie has the same problem of, well, it's for kids, but what age group? Teens? No.
Yeah.
8-year-olds? Not really.
No, definitely not. I feel like it's trying to get tweens and early teens when they're first dating.
Because that's what the teen drama's for. Yeah, but I don't think it succeeds. So
no. I wouldn't have liked this when I was 13.
If I was a tween and the Barbershop Quartet musical started, I would have turned it off.
I would have just shut it off. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. The minute that he starts going, croon, spoon, moon, Velma, love you.
So again, I'm who is this for? Mm-hmm. It's weird. Anyway, Scooby-Doo and the Curse
Scooby-Doo
of
and the Curse of the Lake Monster.
Newbert. Let's rate the dog. So Scooby.
Yes.
I think this Scooby is worse than the James Gunn ones by a lot. Not necessarily in animation. The animation's bad in both, but it's like equal level bad for the time. Like, it doesn't look good now at all. And it doesn't mesh with the scenes. But the problem with this Scooby is that this Scooby isn't a character. This Scooby is a punchline.
Yes.
There's no character there.
That was what I was going to say. My only problem with this is just that I don't know how I'd possibly rate Scooby-Doo because he's in 5 minutes of this film.
I think I would rate Scooby-Doo in this movie as a figment of Shaggy's imagination out of 10.
Fair, yeah.
I think that's the only way I could do it. The only other dog
I'm gonna give him the rating that I just. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give him the rating that is the number of minutes that he was in this film, which is 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10. That's a very low rating. Yeah.
Well, that's how long he was in the film. It's not my fault. I'm just doing the math, man. This is just straight. Listen, this is objective shit.
There was one other dog, which I wrote down. And I don't remember the context. But there was a dog in one of Shaggy's dream sequence dance numbers at some point. And that dog was a real dog. And I wanted to pet that dog. So that has to be a 10 out of 10 dog. I don't remember anything else about that dog. I wrote it down,
had to be very brief because I do not remember it.
I wrote down dream dog. So that has to be that dog.
Well, if it's a dream dog, then it has to be a 12 out of 10. It's dreamy. Yeah. Anyways, this is Rough Cuts. Yep, sorry.
Sorry, there was technically one other dog, the Frogmen.
Oh, of course.
Date out of 10 is how I rate them. Yeah.
What's the wettest number that you can think of?
8? That's pretty low, though.
Yeah, it's gonna be an 8. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Fair.
Well, their tongues are very long and like they often like curve around people, so 8s have lots of like. Yeah, there we go. Like
no, that makes sense. Yeah.
Just like how I'd like them, and and they strangle things, just like how I'd like them to strangle me.
I'm constantly looking in the classifieds of my newspaper I don't buy for, ads that say breedable frogmen in your area, and they're not there, and it's frustrating.
I need a chokeout witch and a breedable frogman, and I can't find them. Both together, it's impossible.
That's impossible. Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for watching Rough Cuts. You can always help us out on our Patreon to help us afford all of these movies that we watch. We really appreciate it. Happy Halloween, everybody. I hope that you're enjoying it. And you can always check out our TikTok and Twitter. It's at Rough Cuts Cast for both of those. We'll put up some of the photos and things that we were talking about from the film. And if you ever have any suggestions or anything else that you'd like to send us, you can email us roughcutscast@gmail.com. And we will see you next time.
Yeah, I have a great money-making idea, by the way. We need to make our own Rough Cuts Cast ball shirts.
Breedable frogmen, choking witches, and balls. That's the brand.
That's our new tagline, yeah.
Oh, God.